You have to have a different mindset to be traded, basically, mid-season or at the end of the trade deadline, and then to go to a team and actually, I mean, you heavily contributed. You were NLCS MVP, and was able to win, take and help the Dodgers into a World Series. So, but at that time, I've seen it where it's hard to transition to a new team in general. The fear of the unknown. I don't know any of the guys, or maybe I do know somebody, but not the camaraderie yet in the clubhouse. I almost said locker room. Clubhouse is baseball. But the camaraderie there, like, there's a lot of fear of the unknown. So walk us through, like, how did you remain solid, or continue to have a solid foundation with your family too, because that's a lot of transition of moving across the country and moving parts with that, and how did that work with that?
Yeah, it takes a little bit for sure. Those first few weeks going to a new team. I'd been with St. Louis from the time I got drafted in 2016, so I was there for 8 years. So I'd gotten very familiar with everybody there, the players, the staff, and then my wife had gotten close with the wives and girlfriends on the team as well. So it was a transition for us both. But fortunately, going to LA, it was we grew up in San Diego, so being 2 hours from home, it was a little bit like a homecoming. But so that made things a little bit easier. But those first few weeks, you're still meeting everybody, kind of trying to feel everybody out, see who's see who you can kind of mess with. You gotta almost like watch yourself around a little bit. Not that I'm really messing around with too many people anyways, and then the other big part of it too is figuring out who your brothers in Christ are, and fortunately we had a great group in LA. I think I got traded on like a Wednesday, and then I was able to go to a chapel on like Saturday. So I almost immediately had that connection with those guys right away. And there was another guy, Michael Kopech, who got traded at the deadline as well. So we were kind of in the same situation, and we kind of bonded over that. And it took a few weeks for sure, just getting comfortable around everybody and being able to I don't know. I mean, just feel comfortable playing and getting my preparation and routine and everything like that. But everybody there was very welcoming and did a great job of helping make that transition pretty seamless. So I was fortunate in that regard, and just grateful for that organization.
I haven't started my Major League Baseball run yet, but I've never been teammates with you or anything. But from our knowing each other right now, you seem like a pretty likable guy. Yeah. And what if there's someone who is not used to, maybe they're super introverted, they're not used to being kind of outgoing, or, going into a situation like you did? How important is it to create community and have someone to lean on or to identify with, finding your brothers in Christ in a situation like that? Because we know how bad isolation is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's super important, and that's something I've kind of started to realize over the past few years. I think since COVID, because COVID promoted so much isolation, and just obviously being alone is not good. You get some crazy thoughts, and the devil can really attack you when you're alone. So I think it's the most important thing. And for me, I'm honestly kind of an introverted person. Like, I almost have to go outside my comfort zone a little bit to go have conversations and meet new people. But that's something I've almost kind of tried to make a priority the last couple of years is, creating that community, forcing myself to go outside and outside my comfort zone and have deep conversations with people, not just surface level, but, just really talk to people who you can have real life conversations about, talk about our faith and things we're struggling with. But, it can be tough for sure. That's kind of what our society is almost like as a whole. It promotes like individualism and everybody kind of fending for themselves. But I think as a follower of Christ, especially, community isn't just like a little extra thing you can add on, but it's one of the most important things you can do.